Alright, so I'm going to do a general status now, and maybe tomorrow I'll do some of the tricks or different things that you can do to get things to compile in Haiku to the extent that it's possible. So, general status right now. I have about 600 Pkgsrc packages, but they're all text files and ASPL modules. It's not that bad. But a lot of them are. So the ones I've just done recently are in yellow. Lots of ASPL. I was really surprised I got Bison there. It just compiled, which wasn't a problem. I didn't have to do anything to get Bison. It just came up as a dependency in some bulk install that I did, and I'll go over that. But basically, a lot of these things are low-level utilities, though. Right now, I'm stuck on, and I even have a patch and a recipe, and I'm in a catch-22. I am stuck on libgcrypt. So when I try to do it in Pkgsrc, it can't find LSocket, which I know is live network. Okay. And then when I do a compile, just configure without having bmake involved, it can't. It says that libice and a few other libraries are too old. Of course, I've built the newer ones in Pkgsrc that'll work. I just don't know how to get these target files installed in Haiku. Now, there's a variable called bincludes, and I just learned how to add that. And basically, if I learn how to do that right, then it'll basically path what I have in Pkgsrc. But I'm also a little bit... I know I've got some redundancies. It may be time for me to start slimming down what I have actually coming in through Haiku, and instead using the things that are in Pkgsrc. And because the system directory isn't writable for really any general sense, it has to be because package is installed, but normal users can't write to it. I'm wondering if I'm ever gonna I figure out how to convert those Pkgsrc packages into Haiku packages. The way to do the bincludes is this command up here on the top. And there's someone that was involved. I think the guy, I'm guessing that the guy that was involved with HaikuOS Max sometimes contributes patches over at Haiku ports. He's a very, very talented individual. He's busy. He has a life now. So he's got family, children. I don't expect him to drop any of that for this, but sometimes he does come up with some good information. He's probably one of the last few people. There's been a couple people that have compiled Firefox, but he was the last person to really compile an updated version of Firefox. But the bincludes command is you just type export space and in caps bincludes equals and in quotes $$ bincludes colon and then where you want your stuff to be included in the system. And I was hoping that when I did regular compiles now, it's going to find a lot of the headers that are now in my my own Pkgsrc headers directory, which is rather well populated at this point. I probably should set a library path. I went by what the person Kiko Obata, I believe. I went by what he said with Pkgsrc, and I added this B libraries entry. But since that's the only entry for it, I don't think that's going to be the thing that I need to do. So what I need to do, and I hope I'm going to do this tomorrow and have success with, is actually get the library, set an additional variable for the library path there. to include, you know, boot, home, package, library, where I have all my libraries, and then I'll be out of the catch-22, I hope. It'll be able to find the newer versions. I guess I'll have to uninstall the older versions of, there are 3 main libraries that it's looking for. There's LibIce, like an Xproto and something else, and I have newer versions of those, so I don't need the ones that are in the system. And I eventually do need to figure out how to get the packages that I've compiled for Haiku to actually work in Haiku. And when I first started, I thought it'd be as simple as just unzipping it and putting the stuff where you want it. And that would work if we had right access to the system library, but we don't. My basic stats, and I took some stats earlier today, and this is like a spreadsheet of my stats and all that. From what I could tell, Pkgsrc has 11,797 packages available. Of the archivers, I've actually, my number's up a little bit higher there. It's probably, I started with it first. And I'll explain why some of these have absolutely nothing yet, and some don't. But basically, there's 104 archivers available in the archive directory for Pkgsrc. I've actually made 58 by now. I got something called ARC to port using one of the patches from Haiku ports. It was a very small patch. You just had to. Maybe I'll do some more of this tomorrow. And so in some of these smaller ones up towards the A's and things like that, in Pkgsrc you can actually get it to auto-compile by going into the base directory. So get this darn thing out of the way. So here I am actually going through some directory. Don't remember which one it was. No, I'm going through the chat directory. So this one here has 138 different packages, and of course the dependencies will try to compile. They'll be automatically download, and the compiles will attempt. And so I just, I come back the next day and I do a new tally. So I suspect that by the end of this dry run, it's fair to say it has about a 10% success rate. I'm going to expect about 12 packages to end up being installed as a result of this dry run that I'm doing right over here. But right now I'm just getting these repetitive errors with, and a lot of the chat programs are actually X-based, so it may be lower than that. So this may go all night. I may not get nothing much from it. But the libgscript is one of 2 things that I have a stumbling block on. I have a good number of X11 packages built. I have a good number of a lot of things built. I have the faked Python 27, or I wouldn't even be this far. Still don't have a correctly working Python that I've made myself. I know it's not going to work in Haiku Porter, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And it's because of the hard links. And I know someone's been working really hard on getting everything patched for Python, and sometimes it's a matter of timing. That I don't know if the recipes have time delays or things like that, but I still don't think it's going to build in Haiku. It's going to have to be some other environment. That's my belief. It could be people are having errors trying to build Haiku in Haiku because the Python won't build, because I think it's trying to use hard links to build, which is what my last 2-hour video was about. The largest package group is called development. It's got like 1855. Sure, I can't even tell if I'm getting this. I have a meager 8%. My most successful category has been archivers, benchmarks, and biology. And those are categories I've done dry runs in. And I've also focused on what common errors would come up. Time and time again, a compilation would fail because of some dependency that wouldn't compile. So I would work on that dependency and try to get it through. Some of these just come up because they're dependencies of other things. Although I did try in the language area to get Python. A lot of those are Perl scripts and things like that. Versus I have 12 languages. Text processing, there was a ton of TEX packages that are basically fonts for the larger text packages. It's really... So the Perl and the A-spell and the, text packages and the Python packages, they kind of inflate the numbers, but they're just background utilities. Some of these other programs actually do rely on. Once I finally get down through all these things, I at some point the snowball effect is going to take over, and I'll just have so many things built. Once I'll literally with Pkgsrc, when you get to a point where you have enough things built and work out all the very, very basic dependencies, everything else kind of falls into place. The system almost becomes kind of self-aware. But you don't have to use Pkgsrc's bmake. You could trick Pkgsrc, you could stop the compilation, or if it stops, you can go in and try to do a native compile. Trick Pkgsrc into thinking it's done its configure so it doesn't mess with your configure. And then when it tries to make, it'll see it's already made and it'll make the package. And my goal is to make these packages into something packageable and transferable, not just source code folders. So as time goes on, the numbers will get better. I think today, should I say 100 packages were compiled with hard effort of my own. There were a few dependencies that I fought through, a few I resolved, a few that I didn't resolve. And I'm going to try to put the ones I resolve on camera. So the important thing with Pkgsrc is that, except for the stuff that you have to make compile with some kind of trick, it just works. So you don't need to, and that's what kind of having things about Haiku ports. There's nothing stopping us from submitting our, well, in theory, there's nothing. In theory, the people that maintain Pkgsrc would want to accept the packages that come from HaikuPorts.org, for example. There's a lot of them. Now, I guess Haiku Porter was a way to just grab those things, but with stuff like I'll try to show this tomorrow. There was a few instances where I had a distinct advantage because I had both Pkgsrc to help me and just Haiku, and there's a clear separation between the two. In some cases, it was a disadvantage, like with library gcrypt. In some cases, at least when I was in the hybrid, I'm not working on the hybrid. I'm doing this all in GCC4 now. I'm not messing around with GCC 295. I don't think it's realistic to expect that people that release packages today are going to test to see if they compile in, a version of GCC from a number ago. And I'm already spending a lot of time on this. I don't want to spend more time on this just to find out. But I seem to be having more success with GCC4. But it's not exclusive. Some of these things were very, very tricky. They didn't come automatically. some I had to go and I had to start the compilation in Pkgsrc, go out into Haiku land, and then configure it or finish it, you know, or just do configure or whatever made sense, you know. But at the end of the day, it's starting to work out, but it's still a struggle, and I can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I'm just 2 packages away from Firefox. We're not there yet, but it feels like I'm close to the top of the mountain. I still have some uphill battle to go. I have a complete list of all the packages organized by category. I used the program called Tree to get this, and I've compiled Tree that's a package for that. That was useful. A lot of these things are just, and I'll just show you some of the things I got. There's basically text-based games. Links isn't really anything to, you know, write home about. Some of these things are just going in circles and circles and circles. Sometimes it works. So I'm not even paying attention to what's happening here, and maybe, you know, libtassinal will build. I have no idea. But also it's getting pretty close to the limit of the system. So something weird's going on. But I got a lot of, see, look at all these dependencies. Welcome to the haiku hell. Alright. Wow. It's really thinking about this thing. Libtassinal, whatever the hell it is. Alright, so boot. Now this, I don't even know how to play this game. Wow, that is taking a long time. Okay, so I guess G moves it to the left. Right. K twists it around. I'm trying here. I don't know exactly. Okay. This must be this is a networked version of the game. I had to, wait, I'm gonna die right there. Then we have, let's see, is it Moon Buggy or something? This is kind of like Jump. There we go. I'm dead. Quit that. There's some kind of Space Nears game, and I think it was Space to Start. Okay. It's a product of all my hard work. This is about as good as it gets right now. Oh, dead. Oh yeah. So there's something else I need to show. This is almost doing it for me, but maybe I should probably just terminate this. This is just, oh, just crashed on me anyway. I'm gonna restart this, and then I'm gonna show you how to cause a system to crash. I know how to reliably make this system crash. But you need Pkgsrc for that. No, there are good reasons to use Pkgsrc, okay? Alright. So you just go into the shells category. And the very first one, and just go ahead and try to compile that sucker. And it will go for a little while, then all of a sudden, after a while, when it starts to compile, you'll get a kernel panic. It doesn't like it when it does this kind of stuff. Every once in a while, I get some kind of error. There we go. There's your kernel panic. So, don't know why it's doing that. I don't know what any of this stuff means. If I knew how to do bug reports, believe me, I would. This is just way above my head. I don't know what frames and callers are. I'm barely learning how to port over apps. I don't really know how to program. I'm just kind of barely knowing what to do, just kind of completely uneducated to get the applications to run. So, I guess this is as good as it gets as far as a bug report that I'll do. I don't know what to do about it. But the program that I was compiling is, I just typed exit to get out of that. Make with memake. I don't know what memake is. But the program was called AST/KSH. I don't know if it'll still restart. Nope. It just looks like it's alive. Right. What other interesting topics do I have? Well, let's just see. How close am I to Firefox? Or Netscape? Or SeaMonkey? Let's try SeaMonkey. SeaMonkey, I've been having trouble with PySQL because I don't have a real installation of Python because it won't build the modules. So when it, and I'll explain why this is a showstopper, I guess. SeaMonkey, as far as I'm concerned, no one really uses it, but it's the old Netscape, and I don't see that the Firefox of today is really all that much quicker than the SeaMonkey of. SeaMonkey kept all the add-ons. It kept the email interface, and I used to use Netscape a lot. It can use some art, but if it were customized and looked nice, it would be a very good browser. And it may not require Cairo. I don't know, but anyways, just try this. Wait. I'm getting a benign something from the runtime loader about how I can't find some or other. Well, shell scripts attempt to run. So what's it gonna try to do here? Yeah, the PySQL Lite. If I can get past that, I may have a shot trying to compile SeaMonkey. The rest I'll leave for tomorrow. But that's where things are at. So, although I am pretty much discouraged, if I don't got Python, there's just a whole large list of things that people want to use that aren't going to compile. You know, so I could have all these little, you know, text-based terminal games. No one wants to, use a modern operating system and just have a bunch of text-based terminal games. They want to use something X-based, and I don't need to port X11. I just want, that's an X window. I'm fine if Firefox runs in that X window. I don't care. I don't need X11. I know Firefox doesn't require X11 to run on Windows. At least I don't think it does. So, it shouldn't need it here. The other one shouldn't need it here. So, you need some other X mechanism. We got it. There it is. So, want to use it. So far, so far I don't have any graphical programs. That's where I'm at. All these things down here are little things that I've done to, except for those, because those were unsuccessful. These are all things that I've done something with some file somewhere to get it to compile where it otherwise wouldn't have. Some of them were very simple, like Netris. Let's go ahead and look at the make file. This is the make file that's inside of user local. Don't think I used that one. I did. I didn't even notice that. But it works, so I don't get that. Oh, because Pkgsrc will append boot home package. Or, yeah, in front of that. So it kind of, in this case, doesn't matter. There still is an issue with going to user local when it actually tries to install. But right here, under flags, get Netris to compile. You just need to put in the -L network on line 9. Not a big deal. But eventually I'm going to actually make a note of all these things and either put it on camera or try to do a patch. But I just, for Ed, there were 2 files that changed. I don't remember. This Ed has some hard links in it. You have to use ln-s versus just ln. Anyway, I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm going to do a better job at it. But basically, I'm keeping these set aside so I can make a note of what I've done and at least tell someone about what I've done. That's it.